Thank you to Kohls for sponsoring a portion of today's video.
So we've had a really difficult winter. And, I was thinking about this. I kind of want to just talk about it out loud. Maddie and Luca were summer babies. So the first couple of months of their lives, they were spent outside, going on walks, getting fresh air. All the, leaves on the trees were on them. You know what I'm saying? Whereas with Quincy, we had her in the winter. So we were all cooped up in the house. We didn't have really no way to get outside because it's freezing cold out here in Minnesota, And I see the toll that had on Charlotte more than anything. I see the toll that it had on me. I see the toll that it had on the kids in some respects, because although we were together in the winter, a lot of the attention went to the baby because, she's the baby of the family. She needs that attention, So I vowed to myself that this summer I'm gonna make it the best summer ever for my family.
But before I get into my summer plans for my family, I want to give a huge shout out to Kohls for sponsoring this portion of the video. I feel like my kids always grow out of their clothes overnight, especially when they don't wear their spring and summer clothes, because it's cold 8 out of the 12 months in Minnesota. And the goal I have for my family is to stay happy and healthy, and Kohls is my one-stop shop to ensure that I can make that happen for them. Kohls gives us the best value, variety, and quality for our spring and summer wardrobe, and most importantly, they encourage my kids to express themselves with pieces that fit their personalities. For spring, we chose colors and pieces that encompass joy, freedom, and expression, and these are traits I want to embed with my girls. We chose pieces from Kohls that have the colors beige, purple, green, and denim, with brands that match us across the board. All these colors and pieces of our wardrobe are a representation of what I hope to instill in my girls this spring and summer. Purple is the color of nobility and ambition, green is the color of new beginnings and growth, beige is the color of simplicity and comfort, and blue is the color of open space and imagination. And these are all core values I want to implement this spring, and because of Kohls' amazing quality and variety, they help me give these traits to my girls. Maddie, Luca, and Quincy are all wearing pieces from the Little Kohl by Lauren Conrad that all have beige, purple, green, and denim. Luca and I are both wearing Vans that keep us matching, and Charlotte and Maddie have purple shoes from Madden Girl and Converse. Charlotte is wearing some comfortable straight Levi's with a green shirt from Sonoma that matches my green shorts from Sonoma. I have my beige everyday Henley shirt to match with Maddie's shorts. And to finish it off, Charlotte and I both have a pair of Ray-Bans to protect our eyes while watching these crazy little rascals. So when you see us as a whole, you see how Kohls keeps us in sync and why it's our one-stop shop. We plan on having plenty of trips to all the parks, pools, and lakes in Minnesota, and Kohls will be the place where I get all my family's gear when it comes to casual or active wear this spring and summer. So it's easy to keep my family comfortable, stylish, and in sync when shopping at Kohls, and I highly suggest you check the link in my description to check them out. Thank you to Kohls again for sponsoring this portion of the video.
And what's interesting about living in Minnesota, and I tell people this all the time, is that Minnesotans made me recognize that being outside is, I don't want to say a privilege, but it's something that shouldn't be taken lightly. I don't even understand all the ramifications of it, because again, I'm from California and I've always been outside. And that's why I'm excited to implement some things for my family this summer, to get outside every day and do all these things to see what it does for us, for our health in all facets of our life. The first thing that I'm gonna make sure that we do is go on a walk every single day as a family. Every single day. And my plan is to do this in the morning, like super early in the morning, because once the girls are out of school, I want them to stay on kind of the same schedule of getting up early. I already have them on a really good morning routine because I get up early and they kind of get up early. But now I want to get Charlotte up early and Quincy as well. We all go for a walk together as a family. It's actually crazy how healthy walking is. I've read that walking is even better than running. You know what I mean? Especially if somebody like me whose body's all beat up from football. But the things that walking does for you physically and mentally are there's no comparison to a lot of the other things. And I want to do that for my family. And the hope is that by doing this every day, that this is a skill that I can implement in my life, that Charlotte can implement in hers, and then the girls will implement in their lives as they get older, to have a healthy, kind of routine or a healthy habit that they can do that's so easy. Now, it's hard to do out here in Minnesota because again, it's cold most of the year. But I think if we take advantage of that in the summer right now, well, we're going into summer and spring right now, but if we take care of that right now and I implement that to the girls early, then they'll always have something in their back pocket to make sure that they stay healthy in a huge, in a huge way. So the next thing is putting the girls in summer sports. Now I don't even know what the heck is a summer sport these days, because again, being in California, it's like it's summer all the time, and you can swim whenever you want, you can play soccer whenever you want, you can play football. Here, there's literally some things that you cannot do because it's so cold. Like they have like, you know, these bubbles of like you put around like around like fields and stuff. And this isn't anything new, to be honest with you, because the girls play a bunch of sports. They play t-ball, soccer, they swim, they dance, they do gymnastics, they do everything. My plan is to try to get them in more outside sports, just to soak in more sun, you know, while we can. And the last thing is getting into a new house. And this is what's interesting. Like right now, we live in a condo. We lived in this condo for a minute. You know, me and Charlotte bought this place because we were having Maddie. You know, we were having our first daughter and we wanted our own space that we can grow in. And we've done that. Like this house has been amazing for us, and we've grown so much in here, you know, in our marriage, you know, as parents. You know, Maddie and Luca have grown up in here. Quincy is growing up in here. And what's interesting about the summer in Minnesota is like I recognize how having a yard is really, really important. Because if you have your own yard, you have, you know, outside space to yourself. You know, in this condo, we don't have a backyard or anything like that, no grass area. And sometimes I wish I could just go in the backyard and just play with the kids in the summer, you know, have a swing set or have a blow up pool. We used to have blow up pools when I was a kid. And just do stuff like that where we can spend more time together outside. And it's funny that that I say spend more time together outside, because I didn't think like this growing up, because I was always outside. But now I understand how important these things are, you know, for my family's health. And it's just cool to see me kind of evolve as a dad in this way, because I think my priorities help me understand what's important. Me as a dad and my priorities helps me make decisions based on what I think is best for my family, and talking to Charlotte about that, and we can collectively come together and make these decisions. You know, what I'm talking about is like, you know, taking advantage of the summer. That is like the surface level of what I'm explaining here, or what I'm recognizing that I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about at a deeper level is like making conscious decisions for the betterment of my family. And in this conversation specifically, that has to do with the summer. What can I do in the summer with my family to better their lives, right? And to me, that's taking advantage of actually being outdoors. You know, taking advantage of being able to go on walks. When I choose a house, making sure that house is, we choose that house based on the decision of, okay, when summer comes, we need a space to be outside, because you can buy houses and they don't have like yard space. So I know that's a priority, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was just thinking about that, and I think those are the big things, just like going on a walk every day as a family, putting the girls in summer sports, and buying a house with a yard in it. And it's funny because all these things seem so simple, and I think a lot of the time, for me specifically, I tend to overcomplicate things. And I think if I can just think in ways that are this simple for my family, I think it'll go a long way. And that's why I wanted to sit and talk about this, because I wanted to see, you know, look at this from 10 years from now. We're going on walks every day and we're all in good health, and the girls love walking. And like, I'm like, yeah, like I planted that seed, you know, right here and now. And that's going to carry out for, you know, hopefully the rest of the girls' lives and our lives as well, as in me and Charlotte. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. And you know, spring is here. We probably can get started walking now. It's warm enough. I think it's like supposed to be like, wow. It's a whopping 75 degrees. I don't think y'all understand what that means in Minnesota. If you're from Minnesota, you get it. If you're not, you don't. But I want to take full advantage of this for my fam. And I'm going to start doing that. So yeah. That's all I got today, and till next time.
And thank you to Kohls again for sponsoring a portion of today's video.